certainly proud of the group on a night where you had an opportunity to create history, and we didn't come out with the win tonight, but I think we did ourselves as a club and as a league. Pretty proud of the performance that we put out there. Closed out the game without kind of some point guards and gave some other people some opportunities to do some things. But good highlights. We'll sit down and watch some review tomorrow of a lot of the good things that we did, the way we competed physically. Needed to make some shots in the fourth quarter, but sat down and guarded after quarter time, and Dash was a big part of that in the way his effort and his commitment to guard the ball tonight and stay in front of people I thought was outstanding.
Dash, what was it like playing against your brother's old team, and when you play against NBA talent, what does it tell you about your game and where that is currently?
Yeah, I mean that's the ultimate goal, to try and get to the NBA in the hopefully the next couple of years, and to be able to have this opportunity to play against the Pelicans, them coming out to Australia is awesome for not only me but the whole of Australia as well. So it's just a great experience, and I get to see what they're like and showcase my talents as well.
Dean, what did you think of Dash out there? I look at Jeremiah Fears 3 of 15, 5 turnovers. Dash probably played a big part in that. What did you make of Dash's game?
Yeah, I think that every game so far this year, we believe there's just been really good growth, and I thought there was massive growth again tonight. I thought his position off the basketball way better tonight, and how he could assist the basketball coming downhill, stab at it, get back. Mostly highlighted in my mind when I'm thinking about his game is really navigating screens, whether it's under, over, get back in front. Strong body to make him make tough shots over, and I thought, that's the part that stands out for me.
Dash, what sort of pushed you hardest tonight? What was the toughest thing on the NBA court, and what were the things you're pretty happy with?
I think obviously how big the court is. The 3-point line's a little further back, and ball's a little different and all that. But it's obviously good to change the scenario and all that. And I thought just me being aggressive and helping the team out in the defensive end, and I thought that's what I did pretty good.
Dean, what's it like playing in a 48-minute game? From watching it, it felt very long.
Yeah, it really did. Probably even more so with the timeouts, as they're a lot longer as well. There was some technical things about just coaching NBA games again, about when you can sub people and do different things. But when the goal tonight was to not have anyone play 40 minutes, and we stretched Milt a little bit at the end there to have a shot at winning. I think we were 4 or 6 points, and we were going to take him out, and it was just like, let's have a crack at winning this thing. And I thought we had enough good open looks to really challenge that as well.
How did the chat with the high performance go when you started to get a sniff of victory, mate?
Yeah, I think we wanted to manage Milt. We still had a couple of timeouts, and he was the only one. A few other guys had some niggles, so we didn't put him back in the game. Thought we managed everyone pretty well.
Are you concerned about Shea at all, or was that just managed as well?
Yeah, we'll see. He didn't. I was told not to have him come back into the game to shut him down. So we'll have a look at him tomorrow and see where he's at.
Do you know what he did for himself, or what it was?
Not really. No.
And the same about with Tyson, like a hand or a wrist thing at the end.
Yeah, a little bit of a thumb there. Yep.
What would you say to basketball fans who maybe watching your team for the first time and saw Dash and Milton Doyle and some of these guys do their thing, and maybe they might become members or come to games and otherwise wouldn't have watched the game if the Pelicans were here? What would you say to those basketball fans in Melbourne?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that come to see Zion and come to see the Pelicans, but hopefully we got some fans tonight to say, the quality of player that we've got in this league and the performance that these guys put out on the floor is worthy of paying money to come and see him. And then, for Dash, it's like we're not sure how many games you get to see him for. The level that he continues to get better at, and we wish him the best if he's good enough to get drafted at the end of this year. Jesse Edwards really wanted to show, Milton, Tyson, all these other guys, the opportunity to play against an NBA team is where their dream is still to get to. So I thought they were all solid tonight.
Dash, coming up against the Pelicans, what are your takeaways from the games and things
I think just how big they are. They're a lot more athletic and can get in the rim a little easier than a lot of players around here. So just coming up against that physicality and athleticism is a big change. But it's good to see.
How do you feel about that backdoor that Pope got on you? Have you got that dart?
I should have been there. I just let him get that gap on me, and it was first play of the game, and I was pretty mad at myself about that, but we came back after that.
Did you have a quick chat about that with Dean when there was a foul? Is that what you spoke about, Dean?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to tell you our conversation, but yeah, there was something I thought he should have done better. There was something that he thought that the guy did, whether legally or illegally. But yeah, we move on. You're going to get dunked on against the NBA teams.
Dean, how close were you to playing Chris tonight? And were you maybe looking for like a 4 or 5 second window at the end of the quarter to maybe?
Yeah, it was potential to say that was. But yeah, he took another little knock at practice in a different spot the other day, and so it was just like, no, let's be smart and just not risk anything tonight with him.
Dean, what did you think of Finn Delaney's performance against Zion? I mean, he looked so strong and started really imposing himself, I guess, from the get-go of the contest. Yeah,
Zion. It was cool to see Zion and just the way, the force that he comes downhill with, and I thought for a good portion of it, we created a really tough crowd for him to try and go through, and but he's athletic enough to go through you, still create separation or contact and get to the foul line. But yeah, Finn's an elite defender, and he should be recognised in our league as that, and being a contender, for defensive player of the year. Some of the things that he's doing right now. So I thought he stood up really well.
Dean, Trey Murphy praised your ball movement tonight. Said it was really impressive. What are you most pleased about with the way the team ran their offense against a different defensive look than we're used to, and how will that kind of help you moving forward in the season?
Yeah, there's a lot of switching, so you've got to continue to slip out of different things, set screens here. You've got to continue to do different things to let the basketball move. But there's still the way that they play defense. They still require you to play enough one-on-one to attack, and I think we're trying to get one more action in there and not get to isolation so much. But we talked about before the game to say we've played 3 games and preseason games. It's their first game of the year. Our advantage versus them is our team play, and for a portion of it there, the ball moved without getting stuck and created good shots.
Dash, for you, obviously, this year there's a lot of just talk and expectations about what's coming next. How do you stay focused on just each day, you know what I mean, and just block out all the noise? Obviously, you have your brother to lean on, and your dad, and things like that, but practically, what does that look like for you on a day-to-day basis, trying to just stay focused on your personal game, your development?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it's day by day, step by step. I'm not looking too far ahead. Just focusing on what's next, and that's, the Sydney game, and we're trying to get the win there. So, as I said, I'm not trying to look too far ahead, and those things come with it, and just next step.
Dean, I know it was a close game, but were you able to sit back and relish the sort of moment in Australian basketball history?
Not really. I'll reflect a little bit later on, and I picked up my phone, and it was cool to get some messages from old coaches and talking about that, to say it's a really good night for Australian basketball and basketball in Victoria, and I'm glad we were able to really compete at a good level, and hopefully we've done enough to say to the NBA, hey, it's worthy of bringing more teams back to Australia for these games. And I think that was a responsibility that I felt tonight for the NBL and for Australian basketball to do a really good job on home soil and get other people to get an opportunity to play an NBA team.
Would you like to have more opportunities to play games here at Rod Laver?
Oh, without a doubt. There's, we talk about the continual growth of our game, but it was a long time ago in 90 or 91 or something that I got to play Tigers versus Magic, and this thing packed out like it was tonight. And, the opportunity for me is to say I'd love to see Throwdown, in this venue if it could possibly happen. It's an elite stadium, and, I'd love to see it happen.
Dash, a bit more on the casual note, what was the pre-game ritual like? What was the pre-game music playlist like?
I mean, just you know, the usual, lot of Gunna, a lot of Lil Baby. You know, just that rap music is, you know, what I like. So just get my headspace right and you know, keep me as prepared as I can for the game.
Dean, what was your pre-game playlist?
All right, I think we'll wrap it there. Thanks, everyone.